sales de la universidad, tú sales con unos conocimientos básicos. El primer reto que tú tienes al salir de tu universidad es enfrentarte a la realidad, que es totalmente diferente a lo que te enseñan en la universidad. Es coger un problema que tenga la empresa que te está contratando, buscarle una solución y plasmarla en un software. Otro de los retos importantes en este momento que tenemos todos los ingenieros de sistemas es que tú sabes que la tecnología va avanzando a diario. Entonces, por lo regular tú te quedas con ciertos conocimientos que te dieron, por decirte algo, en la universidad te enseñaron a programar en cierto lenguaje de programación, tú ya te quedas con ese lenguaje. Pero todo avanzando, hay desarrollos sobre smartphone, en iOS o aquí en Android. Entonces, el reto es ir acorde a la tecnología, ir avanzando acorde con la tecnología, estar estudiando, estar refrescando conocimientos. Ese es el mayor reto que tenemos. Yo creo que todos los profesionales, pero más nosotros que somos ingenieros de sistemas, que avanzando tan rápido la tecnología. ¿Por qué la estudié? Te soy sincero, cuando yo salí de la universidad, mi sueño era ser piloto. El colegio, perdón, mi sueño era ser piloto. Estuve 4 años en la Fuerza Aérea. Lamentablemente no pude volar, y cuando salí de la escuela en Cali, el boom en ese momento de las carreras, la más sonada era la ingeniería de sistemas, porque en ese momento era la más estaba pegando por lo que te acabo de decir, todo era tecnología, todo era computadores. Entonces me fui por eso, me incliné por esa carrera. Al principio no me gustaba, ya como al 4º semestre empecé a cogerle cariño a la carrera. Al 6º semestre ya empecé a trabajar como técnico, empecé a dictar clases cuando estaba en el 7º semestre, hasta que terminé. Y me gustó mucho y me gusta mucho.
¿Y las matemáticas qué tal son de la carrera?
Bueno, para mí fue difícil porque yo vengo de un colegio público. Yo no estoy aquí en Barranquilla, estoy en Aguachica, Cesar, que prácticamente es un pueblo. En un colegio público, las matemáticas no eran como tan profundas. Entonces, al enfrentarme aquí en la universidad me costó trabajo. Me tocó hacer un esfuerzo muy grande, estudiar muchísimo de noche, decirle a mis compañeros que me ayudaran, y así saqué adelante, pero es duro, un esfuerzo propio, pero es duro. La mejor parte, pues, haberme realizado como profesional, porque como te dije, al principio no me gustaba, pero ya después le cogí gusto. Me gusta mucho el desarrollo, las redes, la tecnología. Día a día trato de pronto de leer, de ir refrescando conocimientos. Entonces, realizarme como profesional para mí fue muy gratificante. Y la carrera me ha traído muchos beneficios. Bueno, no te puedo mentir tampoco. Tenemos mucha competencia. Ahora no solamente nosotros nos especializamos en desarrollo, sino en la persona que le guste, que tenga cierta afinidad con la tecnología, con el desarrollo de aplicaciones, porque manejar un computador la pueden nombrar en un puesto que tenga ciertos requerimientos básicos del sistema. Te voy a colocar un ejemplo. Mira, la persona que yo reemplacé en mi empresa, él no es ingeniero, no era ingeniero de sistema, no es ingeniero de sistema, él es administrador de empresas e hizo una especialización en ingeniería de software, ingeniería de jefe de tecnología. Es muy competitivo el hecho de ser ingeniero de sistema. ¿Qué habilidades? Tener una mente muy abierta, poder darle solución a problemas de una manera muy rápida, poder trabajar bajo presión, porque tú por lo regular tienes que trabajar bajo presión, tienes que encontrar soluciones rápidas, tienes que tener mucha tolerancia o paciencia, porque tú te enfrentas también a que tienes que darle soporte técnico y o funcional a algún software, y tienes que tratar de ser lo más amable posible con aquellas personas que no son no tienen mucha práctica con la parte del sistema. Entonces te van a estar preguntando 100, 200 veces la misma cosa. Entonces hay que tener mucha tolerancia.
Understanding coding is a weapon. It's like a superpower. It's better than a superpower. Hi, I'm Carly. I work in fashion, but I also consider myself a student. I'm fascinated by understanding how things work. I wanted to learn how the world of technology is built. So I started to learn how to code in my spare time, because it wasn't offered to me as a class when I was in school. I grew up in a house with 3 sisters, and all 4 of us were never encouraged to learn how to code. And that's the one thing that I wish someone would have said, just take one class. I always thought I would be following my father's footsteps and go into medicine. My dad's a doctor, and I love math. I ended up having a career in fashion. You know, there's not much math that I use in my day-to-day life for my work, but I am fascinated by computer sciences, by understanding programming, by understanding how things are built. I happen to be a closeted super nerd. So I personally have begun learning how to program on my own, because programming is the language of the future and of now. I wish I would have started learning at 13, but it doesn't matter how old you are, you can always start learning. Jump into it, learn, just try and take one class. Give it 1 hour. It's amazing what you can learn in 1 hour. It's important to break that stigma of thinking that it's not cool to be smart. If you can understand, much less speak, code, you can build anything. By the way, the games are so much fun. I spend so much time playing with the different games that are probably targeted to 12-year-olds.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old.
I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college.
Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and then basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read?
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball, or build a house. And all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is, you know, computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? You know, it's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know how to read and write code.
When I was in school, I was in this after-school group called the Whiz Kids. And when people found out, they laughed at me and, you know, all these things. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool. And, you know, I'm learning a lot. And some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
We have a fantastic chef,
Free food,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax or go to think or play music or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I mean, I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that, I mean, you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that 1 billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.